Hello again, fellow model makers. Welcome to part 2 of this Italeri 1/35th scale Kampfwagen 6 Tiger 1 Ausf e-build. Right, this is where we left off last time. The major part of the build is done and we are now ready to start painting this model. The first thing I will do is some pre-shading. But before that, let me show you what I like to do as a practice run. I take my airbrush and run it over the kit as if I was painting it. I go over all the parts visualizing how I will lay down the pre-shading. I like doing this because once the brush is loaded and I'm painting, I have a fairly good idea about how to go about it. I know which lines I will be shading and which parts I will be leaving clean. Right, now that I have a fairly good idea about what to do, I load up the brush with some black paint and start with the pre-shading. With the pre-shading out of the way, it's time to start with the painting. I have here a MiG Jimenez ammo set for German tanks. So let's give this set a try. I have chosen Scheme B for my kit, which is the Russian front in the winter of 1943-44. It's a 3-color camo scheme. So let's start by laying down the base color. I start first by painting in between the pre-shading, filling all the empty gaps. Once these are filled, I spray on light layers over the pre-shading. This helps me control the amount of shadow paint showing through. Now, it's time for the first camo paint, the green. I lay it down freehand, just ensuring that I don't do huge patches and that I try and keep the camo patches proportionate to the size of the kit. I leave spaces between the green camo pattern since it will later be filled with brown. This is what the kit looks like after the green camo has been painted on. And now it's time for the third layer of paint, red-brown shadow. Once the camo is done, there are some parts that need to be hand painted, like these air filter hoses. The road wheels also need some black paint to be hand painted. With everything painted, it's time now to glue the wheels on. And now the most time-consuming part of the build, the tracks. The tracks come in these sections of various length. There was no way I was going to be able to glue them on and then paint them. So I decided to paint them on the sprue, starting with a black base coat. Next, I used Vallejo pigments to add some rust and general wear and tear to the tracks. I used a pigment fixer, but more often than not, I use turpentine, which is just as good. For the final touch, I use this gunmetal powder to rub on the tracks with my finger to give them a used metallic finish. For some reason, the tracks look a lot more brighter on camera than they actually are. The construction of the tracks starts with the drive sprocket, which I did not glue to the tank earlier. The track links that go on the sprocket are different, so please be careful about which ones you are trying to glue on. Once the tracks are glued on to the sprocket is glued to the kit and used as a starting point for the rest of the track. Gluing individual links was just too time consuming and difficult. So I made little mini segments of 4 or 5 links, glued them together, and when the glue was about 80% set, took the segment and shaped it around the wheels. Next, I sprayed on a few coats of clear varnish, or in my case, future varnish. There are only 4 decals for the kit, but placing them was a little tricky given the contours of the surface. So I cut them up in smaller, more manageable pieces and used micro solvent set to fix them. And here it is, fellow model makers. The kit is all painted and ready for the final stage, weathering. But that will have to wait till next time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do comment and like. Till next time, have fun and good luck with your modeling projects.